The first scenario I want to tell you about is myth making. In the framework of this scenario, artists can create their own myths and even cosmogonies. This scenario works for creating mythologies or revival of archaic or turning to exoticism. An artist can create so-called martial chronicles because an artwork will look like an artifact of a lost civilization presented to the gaze of some unknown archaeologists of the future. And who knows, maybe these archaeologists will be Martians and the lost civilization will be respectively us. In this case, of course, we're talking about some post-apocalyptic image of a world. In the framework of this scenario, archaic elements might be connected with artist's identity and can be set in a high-tech culture of contemporary world, like in the works of Daniel Arsham. Daniel Arsham is the brightest exponent of myth-making artistic strategy. He's famous for his ruined sculptures. In his artistic practice, Daniel Arsham immerses contemporary objects into the context of imaginary future. In doing so, the artist works with materials, very simple materials like plaster. His sculptures depict iconic cultural objects from our age turned into relics which are destroyed or in a state of some decay. They look like wreckage or even artifacts of a lost civilization, as if, excavated by archaeologists decades later or discovered by some other civilization. Arsham literally, forces us into the skin of our ancestors. Working in sculptures, films, architecture, he creates spaces and situations that he calls future relics of the present. He calls his method, by the way, fictional archaeology. With their eroded, fossilized look, the works have been referred to as catalysts for the 21st century mind to travel backwards and forwards at once. Artist Mark Queen described Arsham's works as follows. Like looking at our own culture through a million years telescope, he gives us the macabre thrill of seeing our culture how others might see it centuries from now. For his eroded sculptures, he carefully selects items from our everyday life that could speak to a broad audience, such as basketballs, magazine covers. Static Mythologies is an exhibition with new works by Daniel Arsham at Gallery Ronmandos. The artists view Luna Garden as an ethereal space to think about the passing of time. We should note one more scenario of trendy artistic strategies in Arsham's practice. This scenario works with the idea of brokenness, ruining, or deformation. It deals with the shapeless, with entropy. It deals with architectonics of decay. It's titled ruining. It works with architectonics of decay or disintegration. A ruining scenario is the pursuit of chaos, of the forms that deny integrity.